Adult beverages are poured. The kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming. It's a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives.
My name is Trevor, and I have a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 13-year-old and an 11-year-old.
Every week, we try to show that just because you became a dad
Does not mean it's game over.
Welcome, everybody, to the show. Busy week.
Yeah.
Busy. So many games.
Lots of games.
I had a side awareness that there were some festivals going on, but the next thing I saw was just getting slammed in my face with trailer after new title and hey, there's a Gears of War, hey, there's a Fable, and all basically take a breath of air and wonder what the heck happened, where are all these coming from?
That's right. I know there's a lot going on. Again, it's that E3 season without E3, and it's just I thought it would go away, that magic, but oh man, it just seems, because everybody does their own thing now, it feels like more videos coming at you.
So. That's a great way to put it. It is exciting. We're launching in the summer. There's so many games coming.
Yeah.
But I don't know about you. So we're all gonna do this together.
That sounds like a plan.
Gaming dad, a gaming dad.
Right.
Jeff and I have not really kept abreast of the games, but we've pulled them all up in real time. We're gonna be just trying to rip through some of these.
Yeah.
Give some mentions. Don't want to necessarily call it a hot take, but it's just from gaming dad perspective. Here's everything that kind of came out.
Yeah.
And perhaps what's most notable. So I did want to mention at the hopper, though, everybody, a couple folks have reached out. We've had some emails come in. We've had some messages on Twitter. Guys, I cannot thank you enough for everything coming out there. Without the audience here, without you guys reaching out, it is so much less. So to receive it, means the world to me and Jeff. So please keep doing that. Send us messages on social at New Dad Gaming. If you have a gaming dad story, if you have a idea or a story or a son story, any message at all, or just a hello, reach out to us from our website, newdadgaming.com. And if you could take a moment, what would really help. Jeff and I are trying to get some traction this summer. If you could get onto any of the podcasting services and subscribe. And what really helps is if you leave a rating and a comment. Sounds small, but it makes a very big impact as far as raising us up and getting us out there other gaming dads. So just want to put that at the front of the show. Firstly, a huge thank you guys. Really appreciate that reaching out. Continue to do so and hop on those channels. Give us a rating and a subscription. Before we get into the list of games, perhaps one of the most important games for the gaming dads itself got a DLC recently. So Boomerang Fu, a title that has constantly been on our dad suggested gaming list, just recently received DLC. And Jeff, I didn't even know about this. You'll have to walk me through it.
Yeah, so this is one that I've been kind of keeping an eye on for a while, and Boomerang Fu just keeps getting support. So they've already had one DLC, which again adds a whole bunch of maps and characters, and then now we have Just Desserts DLC, adds more characters and even more maps. And this is one of the games that throughout all of the stuff that's going on this year, all the releases that are upcoming, whatever, the kids were on this one. They're like, oh my God, this is the next step, right? The next level to our game time, because Boomerang Fu is a staple in this house. It's a great party game, great family game. I'm sure everybody in our audience knows that, but this just adds more to that, right? So again, more characters, more stuff for the characters, and more maps and variety. And they've got not to gush about it, but they have a hide and seek mode too. So even new modes where you can augment how you play with your kids. And even if, for the younger ones, if you want to play a game of hide and go seek, they have that mode in here too, where you're running around trying to find one of the players that is obviously hidden as an item. So it's just a fun thing, and they keep adding to it, and I love it. And again, it's super cheap. It's only a few bucks adding on to the main game, which again is not that much money. And it's a cool thing that runs super well on the Switch too. That, I think that's a good mention, because sometimes the Switch can struggle, but this is one for that. So if you do have a Switch, pick this one up. Yeah,
and even with the controllers and the buttons themselves are super easy to pick up. super charming. Kids absolutely adore it. Mine continue to come back to it. Mine as well. So like I can also vouch for that. Even recently at the birthday party that we had for my oldest, this made an appearance. A game that hadn't been touched in ages, and all of a sudden it just keeps coming to the foreground. Supported, cheap, fun, excellent game loop. Like, guys, check it out if you haven't. And then, hey, a couple bucks for DLC with some really fun additions. So, PSA, we've always been huge on this game. Want to continue to show it love. A great staple for a household of various levels of gamers. Boomerang Fu, new DLC.
Yes.
Okay. Hot spicy takes. Hot spicy dad summer takes for the Summer Game Fest 2024. Now, honestly, like I've caught some from social media or from videos on YouTube, whatever else like that, but not a heck of a lot. So we're gonna try to read through this, try to keep it somewhat tight. All right, we ready to go,
Yep.
Jeff?
I'm ready. Let's
We
do
committed. We're locked
Yep.
in.
Let's go.
So, Lego Horizons Adventure. So we're just gonna Lego everything now, eh? So it's Lego Doom,
Lego
we're gonna have Lego
everything.
Mass Effect. We're gonna have Lego.
I did tweet out, somebody did a fan made Lego Dark Souls, and I would
Oh, that's pretty
absolutely
cool.
love. Yeah, right. I think that would be fun and take a little of the frustration out. But yeah, Lego Horizon Zero Dawn. I mean, they're already kind of like built creatures in like Lego structure, so this wasn't much of a leap. And they have again the actual Lego from Horizon that you can build. So I'm all for it. I think this looks great. I'd play this, and it's like one of those things that I do enjoy Lego games, but like not a lot. Like I don't finish them ever. I like maybe one session and I put it down, but this one I think I could go through.
Man, there's something about the open world nature, the beasts themselves, like you said. Like you look at the machines that you're fighting,
Yeah.
and it's a perfect Lego set. Like this would be amazing to build with your
Please
kids,
do.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's wild. It's like the Legofication of it looks more isometric as opposed to 3D action, but fun. Like I mean, I don't want to say. You could almost be excused for thinking it's a little bit lazy in that, as opposed to building new things. Like let's just Legify this.
Yeah.
In the next version, we'll just do paper cutouts a la Paper Mario.
I mean, yeah.
But much like have you ever saw the Lego Batman movie? Which is like, okay,
Yes.
so you took the Lego movie and a one joke character and you made a whole movie about it? Like that feels lazy.
Mm-hmm.
But then you watch the movie, it's like, okay, this is hilarious. This is great.
It is totally worth it. Yeah, absolutely.
So that they've not missed thus far, and it's exciting.
Yeah.
Now, all right, so I'll put it out there with that. We're not going to spend this much on every single game. We can't. There's too many.
No. Yeah, there's way too many and not enough dad time. So
I've got time for this. But that, at least, like, as far as dads are concerned, it's almost like Horizon Zero Dawn is probably too advanced for most of our kids.
yeah.
But this one won't be.
No. This is a good
kinda
place.
Yeah. So thumbs up. Great start. Harry Potter Quidditch.
Yeah, so we I mean, we got a beta code from one of our viewers on this one months ago. So I've played this one before. I am in the know.
Oh my
on
goodness!
what
Look
this
at that.
is.
We have
Yeah.
like game journalist Jeff about to
Yeah,
inform
this
us all.
is-
I can't wait. Let us know.
This was part of I think DJ Ronnie B gave us a beta code invite, and I played this in the beta stage, and like had fun with it. I don't know how long it's gonna last,
Okay.
but I almost relate it to like kind of a Rocket League setup. So if you're expecting that, kind of get that with the Harry Potter-ness to it, and you'll have a good time. But there's not much more to that I saw, at least in the beta test. So I'm not sure what they've done in the final version. We'll see.
Okay. Well, yeah, looks a bit shallow to me. In
Yeah.
that, like, I'd be curious to see where it gets. However, if you had told me way back in the day, like, oh, you'll have rocket cars that play soccer, and it'll be one of the biggest, most successful online multiplayer game of all time.
Yeah.
So, hope to be surprised.
Yep.
I have no interest, but I hope to be surprised. That'll be great.
Yeah.
No more room in hell. Just first person zombie shooter.
No.
Cool. Great.
I mean, Yeah. I'm out of the stress. I don't want any stress right now. Like,
Yeah, the
sounds stressful.
kind of looks like it's hadn't seen much of the trailers, but it is also 8-player co-op, which is kind of nice.
That is kind of cool. Who has like 7 other people though?
Some people
I mean,
have gaming friends, Jeff.
but we're new dad
we should
gaming here.
recuse ourselves on that one.
Yeah. I'm not
Okay,
sure
we're gonna try to
dad time
really.
would align.
I should have queued this up before.
It would
It's
be
fun, but we're doing
interesting
live YouTube searches. Okay, here's a trailer.
It's typical, right? Like it's like one of those what is it? Left 4 Dead kind of thing.
Yeah, it's okay. So this seems like trying to be the spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead, except 8 instead of 4. Cool.
I mean, that could work if you had a good group.
All right, maybe it's fun.
Maybe.
Good to see it. At least, like I said, I would say the theme and the visuals, everything else, fairly ho hum. We're kind of used to it. 8 people co-op, okay. So something's interesting there. So maybe Star Wars Outlaws.
I am so curious about this one.
Well, walk me through it. Like, what are you thinking? What's been your thoughts on it?
Well, it's like an open world Star Wars game. So think Grand Theft Auto, but Star Wars without much of the horrible violence. But you still have like that Star Wars feel. And if anybody has played like the latest Jedi one, I forget the name. I'm blanking on it. It was fun. The mechanics were great. It was tight. So if you have this in like an open world with like side quests and stuff, it could be kind of a lightsabery Witcher to me. But
Okay.
sometimes you just don't know. It is made by I think EA, so it's like I'm not sure what they'll do with it. We'll see what kind of microtransactions come out of it. But there is like space flight, and like when you zoom into a planet, like the loading screen is you going into the planet. So like even that transition is kind of neat. But I don't know.
Okay. Like the interesting comparison I'd heard is that Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yes,
So that might be
what it
the.
is.
I don't know if that's the first or the second one of it, but I'd play that game was fantastic. I'd done some tweets because there was so many genres. There's one part where you jump on a piece of board and you're kind of snowboarding down and jumping through things. I'm like, hey, look, it's like Tony Hawk Jedi. Let's go. And then there's some Indiana Jones, and then there's real time, so it had a bit of God of War to it.
Yeah, I could see that.
But it was fantastic. You got to feel powerful. Like the lightsaber was great. So this was an excellent start. But the way I heard it described was it was almost Zelda-like, in that as you continue to progress, you get more and more tools, and you get more and more like abilities, and then you go back to the same worlds that you were before. You know, this dungeon, except that now because you have this lightsaber, you can finally access this room.
Yes.
So, and the only reason I say Zelda than Metroid is just because of the nature of like the sword swinging type of thing. But that's sort of, same set pieces that slowly expand based on your capabilities.
Yeah, I did like this one. It was the map system that screwed me up. I couldn't handle that map, but
yeah. Whereas what is interesting, like you said, though, is like if they could pull it off, if you can imagine the grandeur that is Grand Theft Auto 5. And what I mean by that is how there are so many elements of it that are done well, right? Like the driving, people have races in these cars, right? Is what I mean. I'm trying. It's not like it's a racing sim.
No,
no. But people like to drive the cars in Grand Theft, and then they do the missions, and then they rob banks, and then they do real estate, and they own things, and then they do bounties. You know what I mean? So it's like they just have this entire world. What do you want to do? You can go do that.
Yeah.
But the depth of it and the breadth of it, breadth and depth, right?
yes, yeah.
But if you can do that, so that exact same thing, but with pew pew lasers and lights and shing lightsabers, that's a great success, right?
And I don't know why they haven't tried this before, but I don't know where I read it, but like getting the police in Grand Theft Auto with the star level, your wanted level here is the Empire coming to get you, right? So kind of cool, kind of neat in theory. Let's see how it pulls off. Like it looks nice, it looks good. It's just sometimes they give me pause with what they put into the game. Like, oh, you died, now you need to buy 10 Star Wars bucks. to
20 Starbucks for a loot crate. Let's go.
yeah.
For a jaw walk box. Let's go.
That was good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was about it. Yeah. So if done, there's potential. There's such potential if they do this well. I hope it's fun. It's in some ways it's almost perhaps it'll be what everyone was hoping Starfield would be when it first launched.
Possibly. I mean, we'll see.
But we will see. Civilization 7. Never been much of a Civilization guy myself. Have you?
I've always been on the sidelines, tried it out. I'm like, I'm going to learn this, and then never do.
So I'm excited that they're continuing it. I know there's a rabid fan base.
Yeah.
And this is one almost like a la Madden, where there's a whole class of gamers. And it's like, I have this system, and what I do with it is I play Madden.
Yeah, yes.
Or Call of Duty. But for me, I've seen Civilization being that same thing, where it's just like, this is my gaming PC. This is what I use to play Civilization all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So happy to see that's another version. Dragon Ball Z. Okay, now is that a fighting or is that an RPG?
It's always fighting, let's be honest.
Well, Final Fantasy is always fighting, Jeff.
No, that's true. That is true. That is true. It could be like an RPG kind of element to it, but
no, it's fighting. Okay.
Come on. These are done so beautifully, though. Like, it looks like you're playing a cartoon. Like, the way it's modeled is perfect. I love it, but I think you really need to be a Dragon Ball lover to get into these, because I wasn't. I just didn't grow up on it. So.
Yeah, I did. Well, at least like me and my buddies got deep into it for a couple of years. So I'd followed one of like the main stories. Loved it. Like loved the fighting style. Like them going Super Saiyan. Awesome. Having even tried some earlier versions of the games where the fighting style, it's like they do 1,000 things in a blink of an eye, and then they target and they shoot them across the world, and then like there's a huge beam that comes down. So like that frantic nature was difficult to translate. But what's kind of cool is that because they keep making them, and successfully, like you hear some pretty good praise for some of these games, ideally they're really honing it in. Where it's like, okay, like we're finally, not only the visuals first have never looked this great. This is amazing.
Yeah.
But then in addition, like hopefully they've honed in that battling where it's like, okay, you just feel like you are in the game now, or like in the show and battling it out as they do.
Who knows? Maybe this is your next one. Maybe you deep dive in here.
Yeah, probably not, but I can at least appreciate it.
Yeah.
So Batman Arkham Shadow, VR Gotham City.
I mean, I think I saw a clip of this one where the crowd audibly went, "Oh," like, because again, you hear Batman and you're like, "Yeah, Arkham, like, let's go, another game," and then you're at VR and you're like, "Oh," so like, no doubt it's. I mean, I played one of the Batman, I think PSVR, that was a VR thing. It was kind of neat. It was cool to be in like the Batman mode. But I don't know.
I think it's mostly, I seem to recall that was mostly, like it was almost like more detective work.
Yeah. It was like you're a Batman investigator, right? Like you were finding clues and doing your bat scans.
So if that was...
I don't know what
like
this
true
is.
like Batman, like because you're not going to feel power. I don't know that they can make it. I'll put it this way, I hope they do. I was only MetaQuest 2. I can't even play it. I have the MetaQuest 2. So
it just means you need to upgrade. That's all it means. It means
cool.
like, hey, honey, I need to play Batman. I need the MetaQuest 3.
Hey, Meta, hook a gaming dad up here.
We accept codes. It's fine.
There we go. It could be great. You know what I mean? Like, could this be one of the games that really continues to show the promise of VR and pushes the whole medium forward? Or is it kind of just a cash grab of like, hey, remember Batman? Please buy a headset now.
We gave these people a lot of money to make this.
Yeah.
Please.
So Street Fighter 6 and Fatal Fury. Man, I looked at Street Fighter recently because it's 50% off. But it's still... But
I was wondering on this.
Yeah.
You're gonna be world champion. Let's go.
Yeah, it was. I need a trainer. So if any gaming dads listening can provide some help to a dad trying to make his way in Street Fighter. Didn't pull the trigger. It was $40, and I got a lot of other stuff to do. Let's see. Street Fighter 6 content is on the way as Capcom is promising to deliver 4 new characters in Season 2. The promise is to be one of the classic Street Fighters busiest yet. The new roster includes a crossover with Fatal Fury. And you'll see fighters Terry and Mai during the battle. Okay.
Do you ever find, so again, I'm not that much into fighting games, but I know that you have, that you have your moments. Do you ever find that, like, once they get one, like, really, really good, like, they have all the characters, all the levels, and then they're like, here's the next one, and it's, like, 10 steps back, and you're like, well, we're going to do it all again. Like, and you're like, come on.
Their launch, at least with 6, they learned, from 5 to 6, they learned a lot. When 5 first launched, there was some decent blowback, because it was a full-price game. It was missing modes, missing characters. Very sparse.
Okay.
Would be a good way to describe it. 6 came out to great fanfare. It was really well done. Some interesting parts, like the new casual mode means that anybody like you or I can just pick, like, do you want to punch, like, do you want to hit them light, medium, or hard? And then there's a button that's like do a special.
Okay.
Basically. Like
okay.
It's super dumbed down in the greatest way possible.
Like kid mode.
Yeah, basically.
I'm good with that. All right.
/ dad mode.
Yes.
But it's fun. You know what I mean? So it was really great. You are right though, because if with Street Fighter V, which had a 5-6 year run, you had bought all the DLC, you'd bought all the characters, and then you swing back around. It's like, all right, the new one. Here's your 5 guys again. Would you like the other 6 that you've previously bought? Ooh, what's it gonna cost you? That's some cash.
It just seems to me like it needs to be like not an MMO, but it needs to like live online, and then they just constantly update it. And I know that's not like money in their pocket because they have all these, tournaments with the newest game and everything. But maybe I'm just getting old, and maybe I'm just like, you know what? You need to like treat your gamers with some respect.
I need more respect than this. I need these characters.
Oh, it happened. It happened live on air. Like I'm getting old. Okay. Never mind.
No, you're. It's not us. It's them.
That's okay.
It's the kids that are wrong.
That's right.
Yeah. No, I imagine the treadmill of it is tiring. At least there is like a 5-year type of pause. But it's when Street Fighter 7 comes out and you're buying M. Bison for like the 8th time, it's like it starts to hurt. It starts to hurt.
Yeah.
Okay, so Blumhouse Games unveils Crystal Theater. I'm not mispronouncing this. Crisol. Crystal Theater of Idols.
Oh, it's akin to Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yeah, so it's
interesting.
Blumhouse, a studio that's made its name for itself over the last decade with horror movies like Megan and Five Nights at Freddy's, is entering the game business. Okay, which is... that sentence is bizarre because Five Nights at Freddy's was a game that this company turned into a movie.
And now they're going back.
And now that studio that made that movie is getting into games.
You're like, you know what? We could do this. Let's go the other way. Okay, sure.
So they have a bunch of horror games from teams like Eyes Out, Half Mermaid, Cozy Game Pals, Perfect Garbage, Play Me Studio, and Vermilla.
Sure.
So it's basically just, a bunch more horror games coming from the makers of the movie of the game Five Nights at Freddy's.
That's quite a title. I hope that's on every game cartridge.
Yeah. So I did see a trailer for this one. Power Rangers Rita's Rewind.
Yeah, it kind of looks like, again, the old TMNT game that came out that was kind of redone in the pixel art. That's what this looks like, right?
No, be honest. Correct it. It looks exactly like
it does. It does.
And not kind of. It's aping it 1,000%. It's like, hey, remember when that Turtles game did pretty well?
Yeah.
Just do that, except make them wear, instead of shells, make them wear red tights.
Basically, yes. You're correct. Yep. They probably just took everything out of it, but it does look neat. Again, if this was in an arcade, if arcades existed anymore, I think this would be a great one. Even my kids would play this. Anything that's like 4-player co-op.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm all for it. That'd be great. And I hope this one releases on the Switch and stuff because I might pick it up. That's one to look at.
Yeah, it's sort of, if you're looking at the trailer, like it's fairly cheery. in its presentation. Like they're at a
Yeah.
carnival, and of course, like it's a bad carnival type of thing.
Yeah.
But the locations though are made to be a bit more glib and cheeky and sticking with the kind of bombastic, campy nature of the show.
Which
and
my kids
from
do
what
not know. They'd be like, "What? Power Rangers?" I don't know. What you're talking about.
But at least for those who are younger, like it's like charming and colorful and like kind of fun.
Yeah.
It looks like a bunch of mini games like driving and like shooting. So there's like on rails type of section.
Do it up.
So looks like they're going for it. So good.
Yeah.
Glad to see it.
It knows what it is.
That'll be good for. I think that'll be a family hit.
I think so too. Well, you heard it here first.
There you go.
I think they should quote us there.
We got Mecha Break, which looks like a mech fighting game. I don't know if you've got your fill in the recent one that you had played, or if you're
Armored
kind of
Core?
hungry for more.
I mean, I'm always great for different kind of mech games. We're seeing a trailer and it's like flying. Flying is probably the worst part of a mech game, in my opinion, because I don't want to fly. I don't want a plane. I want to be on the ground and be like a mobile tank, right? Like I need to pick up, and maybe that's where Armored Core is more my style, or even Gundams. But this one looks very much the flying.
It kind of just looks, in some ways, it kind of looks like they took the engine from Dragon Ball and just put mechs as the model instead. Because it's a lot of zipping around, a lot of flying objects.
Yeah. I mean, all the power to them. I'm all for mechs. Let's do it up.
There you go. I think there's some tank in there, so you should be fine. So new mech game.
Perfect.
Oh my lord, Jeff, I'm not sure if we're halfway through this list yet. This is getting.
I mean, I think we need to fast track some of these.
Well, the first Descendants, Exosuit Action.
Don't know what that is.
Well, if I was to guess, I think it'd be a little bit like free to play Xenosuits.
You're not really
and
selling
ships.
it.
It's free. It's a free to play game that's been going on for years and years.
Okay.
No, that was the cue for you to know what the hell I was talking about.
Oh no, I absolutely not. A free to play game.
Free to play Xeno.
I thought you were talking about this game. I'm like,
space,
what are you?
guns, swords.
Can we
Okay,
just
hold on.
admire your Googling right now?
So my Googling says to try to find the Space Warrior free to play game is free to play suits, space, guns, swords.
Yep. Let's see what.
Damn it! I was really hoping it'd come up first.
Interesting. Yeah. Maybe this is like an after show. Like, oh, I found it.
No. We're doing this.
We're doing this.
Free to play guns, swords. Hold on. Let's add space in there.
Is it a mobile game?
No, it's on mobile.
Oh, it's on mobile?
Actually, it is on mobile. Hold on. So I got it on my phone because I downloaded.
Oh, you have it. Wait, you have it and you don't know the name?
It's on everything. It's on Switch. It's on mobile. It's on PlayStation.
Oh.
Warframe. For Lord's sakes above, Jeff.
All right, Warframe. Okay, yes.
Okay. I'm really glad we took that tangent.
I mean,
Super useful.
everyone should play Warframe. That is a good one to get into.
So I believe the reference is valid because as best I can see, the first Descendant looks very much like exosuit, sci-fi future, battle it out, energy. Oh yeah, okay. They are aping.
It's pretty close.
Warframe huge.
Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, I mean, push each other forward. I guess. I don't know.
Alan Wake 2.
I do still need to play that game.
I need to still play that game?
Well, I think. I do, but I don't know.
Oh,
if
okay. I thought you said like use, as in like you were putting that on my shoulders.
Well,
like
you should.
Played it.
You should play it. It's I think a Game Pass game, so or maybe not, but
all the more use.
You should. I mean, it's a
probably
good
not.
one, but I probably won't either. I'll probably like watch a YouTube video on it, to be honest.
But Gaming Dad, have you played it, Alan Wake 2? Well, there's DLC. So
yeah,
off you go. All right. Hold on. So Skate.
This
is the first time I've seen this. So Skate has a new game?
Yes. So I saw a little clip of this. I think it's a multiplayer world as well, which kind of gives me pause because sometimes that's not done too well. But a Skate game, that's been forever. Really. I can't remember the last one.
Especially if it's like actually Skate.
Well, yeah.
Because I adored the title. That was a great game. Okay, so far it's a comedy, joke trailer.
Yeah, you get your minute of gameplay, maybe 30 seconds.
Not even. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so for those listening, it's a 4-minute trailer, and I counted down the gameplay part of it. Which never mind. There's a little bit more. Hold on.
No, we
It's
had
all
to
like
go
10
through
seconds.
like 3 minutes of run up to it.
What they're basically saying is that the game is still in development, and it looks very much like Skate, but very much leaning into the online multiplayer and a bit of almost, dare I say, Fortnite.
Yeah.
Because as these guys are zipping around, you're seeing like new ramps and colors and
Yes.
everything flying down.
Why didn't no one? That is a perfect merge, right? Like if you built ramps and stuff like you would in Fortnite and get really good at it and make all these like half pipes and stuff in real time, and it's like persistent. That's a kind of a cool feature.
That's pretty tight. Okay,
Yeah.
that is pretty exciting.
I like that. Unless I sold it way over what they were thinking.
So it looks like it's kicking off this fall. So they're still working on it, but they're saying fall for release. So we could see that post-summer.
Maybe.
Great.
Yeah.
Valorant coming to consoles. I didn't know that it wasn't on consoles, so cool.
Oh yeah, that's a surprise. I thought it was already there.
For dads not in the know, Valorant is I think it's an Amazon jam, but it's Riot. It's from Riot Games, but it's their take on Overwatch. So it's a squad-based first-person shooter, battler, team versus team.
Yeah, that's gonna mess up a lot of. I think PlayStation just revealed their kind of like hero shooter Concord, and they're like, "Please buy it." And then you got Valorant over here, like, "Hey, we're free." Whoops.
And we're pretty popular on Twitch. A lot of people like us.
Yeah.
Okay, Among Us animated series.
Oh, okay. So just quickly, I heard about this Among Us. I know that I have kids that have played it. I myself played it. So the company wanted to support indie games, so they're taking some of their profits and making an indie game fund to fund more game development. I'm like, that's cool.
Excellent.
That's how you kind of lift each other up. So I like that.
That's amazing. I mean, the thought that like they were Among Us was about to be turfed, it was going to be killed.
Yeah.
And then they were working on the next one, but then it got caught on stream, so they abandoned everything, came back to it. Phenomenon. Everybody loves this game, and now they're recycling that success or like taking that success and using it to lift others. Yeah. Fantastic. That's super happy to see. So cheers.
And they have an animation
Sloth
too, so I think there's like a Netflix animated series as well. So that's perfect.
Show off the first look at the animated series based on its hit social party game Among Us. Shows version meant to help. I'm trying to see. I didn't see Netflix, but you say it's on Netflix or will be?
I thought it was. I mean,
Okay.
It feels like it too, but maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, so we got Dune Awakening. I've still not seen either movie. Have you?
What? You haven't? Okay, so I'm a sci-fi nut, and I will like when I took my 13-year-old to see Dune, or we saw it at home, and then they wanted to see the sequel. So he wanted to read all the books.
Wow.
And there are a
Excellent.
ton of Dune books. Now he hasn't, but he wanted to. But it's such a cool setting with like all this lore to it, and you can absolutely do a game properly. And I think if they did it in the style of like almost like a Mad Max, it'd be really neat. But they haven't done that yet. They've done some real-time strategy games and whatever this thing is, which doesn't look.
I could see this being a Mad
great.
Max though.
I mean, it could. Again, it's only a little snippet of something.
So we have a hands-on preview. So it's third person.
Okay, all right. So yeah, maybe it is. I'm hoping.
Okay, so this is from IGN. Whether it's the impressive reviewing Dune Awakening in their play test that they got to do, whether it was the impressively detailed character creation options, the intricate RPG systems filled with skill trees and craftables, or the absolute insanity of trying to outrun a Shai-Hulud or escape a massive sandworm, Dune Awakening appears to be on track to become the sci-fi survival game we've always dreamt of, and we cannot wait to get our hands on.
Okay, all right. My hype level has risen because I think it's just like, oh, what are you kind of doing with it? But now seeing some gameplay and that there is gameplay that is there, it's not just a CG trailer. Okay, I can see this. All right. Perk my ears.
There we go. Hey, Gaming Dads, look at this. Win
This
after
is
win
this
after
is a
win.
horrible idea because I'm just making a checklist of stuff
New
to
stuff
add to
buy.
the backlog, right?
Yeah. All right. Let's keep on going. Let's keep on going. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Thank you. Amazing. The
Okay,
first one
great.
is really good, but I never got through it.
I wish you'd said, say less. It was perfect. Thank you. Amazing. And then also when I go back and edit because your first
Write it up.
response is perfect.
Write it
So if you know, you know. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 on its way.
Yeah.
Slitterhead.
I heard a lot about this, but I have no idea what it is. I think it's a horror game.
Silent Hill creator
Yes.
Kiichiro Toyama. His
Yeah.
next twisted creation, Slitterhead. So it's in the vein of Silent Hill.
You know, I'm thinking of like my 13 turning 14-year-old is probably going to go into more mature games, and like maybe I'll hear of this one, but I myself are not. I don't know. I'm dead.
We'll see. Yeah, but not my jam. But again, I like that this genre persists because there are some fans that really like it, and
Yeah.
it's never going to be a Fortnite. So I kind of like to see this type of thing.
Yeah.
Delta Force Hawk Ops looks like a first-person gun rager, so is great. Hold on. New footage of the military shooter takes players to several different locations while showing off how they'll be able to cooperate with a team to complete missions. Okay, so if anything, maybe a bit more towards the what was the SEAL game, like the SEAL Team 6 game back in the original PlayStation era or PS2?
Spec Ops? That one?
Spec Ops. No.
No.
PS2.
I love the Google sections.
Yeah.
Just to get the keywords in there.
Multiplayer SEAL Team game.
Oh, Siphon Filter?
No,
Maybe?
it's
SOCOM.
SOCOM. I think SOCOM.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there was. I just remember one of like the greatest commercials. Yeah, SOCOM. Okay, because I remember like it was very slow. It was very tedious, and like there was no bombastic nature to it. Like you really had to get in, get your target, like do your mission, and get out. And then because it was PS2 and the dawn of like the online gaming era, like you had your headsets and everybody was doing it. The greatest ad was it's this person in this dark room. He's like, we had the entire team was lined up. Everything that the helicopters came in hard and fast. Johnny Walker had gone to the right side and hit all the targets, but nobody saw the sniper in the tree. And then just like everything falls, but it's just a gamer, right? So it's the gravitas of like a military documentary or movie. But then it's just like a bunch of dorks playing so calm on their PlayStations. The commercial was like it lives in my head rent free.
I kind of congratulate that it's like burned into your brain after all these years. Like it's a good 25, 30 years there that you lived with it. So no, it's good. Okay. Yeah.
Right,
Maybe
so
this
Delta
is your
Force-
jam now.
No, not me. I never. Liked
Okay.
it,
Well,
but for the again, there is a segment that, as opposed to the super twitchy version of Call of Duty, maybe something like this, so it's more tactical and like team focused, which would be kind of fun. Killer Bean, yeah, it's fine. The trailer looks. That's too dismissive. It looks big and silly and fun, and I like that it's just like character work, like back in like the PlayStation days. You know, an Xbox game where it's like, this is Bubsy the Cat or, Crash Bandicoot. And now it's like a bean with guns.
hope
it's fun.
I get the Goat Simulator kind of vibes from it, right? Like just crazy. So.
Yeah. If anything, it's basically much like Goat Simulator. It's like Just Cause, except you're a bean.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Right? And hopefully it's just going to be big, bombastic, and silly. Wanderstop, a cozy game with a dark secret.
This one does look very, very interesting. And if you view the trailer, maybe like not fully, but follow it. Yeah, I didn't have this game on my radar, but when I viewed the trailer, I'm like, oh, okay, let's see where this goes. And it is interesting. It's one of those ones where there is a mystery and you're not sure what it is. And then it's not the game it perceives it to be. So I'm all for that, because the last game that really did that to me was Metal Gear Solid 2, where they're like, hey, you're Solid Snake and you can do all these things, and then you turn out to be Raiden for like the entire game. It was such like this swap. I can see this game just doing it in a way that's, part of the game versus false
it's from
advertising.
the creator of the Stanley Parable, so David Radin.
Yeah.
Did you play Stanley Parable?
I played it wasn't a demo version, but it was like, there's no level to it, but like an hour or two of it before I fell off, but I still have it in my Steam library.
Yeah, I'd almost suggest like revisiting it. It's like altogether, it's like an hour or two. Like it's really pretty small, and it's really impactful. Like it's just that it's so wild and different as anything else. So that'll also be just a call to most gaming dads. Gaming dads listening, you probably have it. Let's be honest. It's in your Steam library probably. So give it a play.
It's there.
So good to see him doing something else. Glad it looks interesting. A New World, Aeternum, Aeternum.
Oh, Amazon.
Aeternum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazon's. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Amazon's upcoming MMO, New World. Okay, so New World was the MMO that existed. I'd heard about that, but I suppose this is just a add-on or addition to it. I didn't know that was still going. That's kind of cool.
I lost track of it. I don't know if it is popular or not, but Amazon has a lot of weight behind it, so I can see it continuing. So that's good.
Good. No, I'm kind of happy because like people put in big effort to it. Like it looks like they're really swinging for something. So good to see it continuing. Pal World is getting a new island and more pals.
My kids are all over this one too because it's like a lot of new worlds, new pals.
Wonderful. That's awesome to hear. Some more deal. I'm glad it didn't just fall off a cliff because I certainly, it took the world by storm. I think there's a lot of hype and then kind of fell off a bit, but at least it's the developer's still there making content.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I fell off. My kid is way ahead of me. So
okay. We have so many games. God, we're on the first page.
That's what I mean. Like I think it goes on forever. So
we're gonna. No, I'm committed. We're doing this gaming.
All right.
This show generally lasts about 30 minutes. Like we tend to cut it. It's like, hey, we'll have a tight 30.
Yeah.
Gaming dads don't have time for that. But we're doing it, man. We're
doing
it.
We again committed, like you said.
Commit. Okay, so Monster Hunter Wilds. Wait, gets crossplay? So is the announcement just crossplay, or is this a new game?
I think it's just crossplay announced, which is great. I'm all for crossplay of everything, all the time, because again, with families with multiple systems, and it makes life easier.
It's 20. No. Okay, so Monster Hunter Wilds. The title of this article is not great. Monster Hunter Wilds is a new game.
Yeah, I think it was announced.
Do it in
before,
2025.
Yeah,
I
think it's already been previously announced. This is just like, hey, we're also adding this stuff.
I gotcha. Okay,
which is great.
Wonderful. Yeah, absolutely love to see it. That is for sure. Okay, let's go. Oh boy, what is with these names? Can you read it? You read this. I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done. Give my tongue a break.
Kanitsugami, Path of the Goddess. I'm just committing.
Well?
I'm just confidence, Trevor. I don't know. Maybe I'm saying
you make me
wrong.
look like a jackass, Jeff. Thanks.
Serves you right for throwing to me. I don't know what you're talking about. This one again, Capcom always seems to, they have their mainstays where like they're pretty safe with things and they know how to work that particular game, and then they have crazy experimental games which may be, very divisive and hit or miss. This one, I'm not sure. It seems like it's one of their kind of experiment ones, but I haven't seen anything on it.
All right.
I mean, Path of the Goddess, it's either maybe you're Kratos just going through, right? It's just Capcom style.
Surprise Kratos. They find that out in the third act. He just busts out. It turns out to be
crossover.
Phantom Blade 0, breakneck action and world tour demo. Came to an end. Okay, hold on. The article is saying it came to an end.
Oh.
With a brand new trailer for developer S Games Phantom Blade 0.
Yes.
It's a good look at some of the project's action, the weapons players can use. No release date. I don't know if this is like what was the incredibly difficult game that was on Xbox with the Ninja? Is it Ninja Gaiden?
Oh, yes. It was Ninja Gaiden. But that studio has also made a bunch of games that are crazy difficult.
Yeah, so I don't know if that was kind of like this, but this instead kind of looks like a Souls-like.
It does, and I think
I'm sorry, not a Souls-like. This just looks like Souls.
Yeah, no, I think they clarified that too because a lot of people are expecting that, and it's more
Mhm.
like I think it's more combo based versus Souls like, which is a little bit different. Yeah, so they have combos that you have to kind of set up.
Okay. I don't know. I should also stop being so dismissive. Like,
No,
I dislike how I said that because I didn't mean to disparage it in the sense that like the Souls games are fantastic. People love them. Like they sell really well, and it's a lot of fun. Like I had a great time with my time in Elden Ring.
Yeah.
So if it's more content like that, awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily mean to be dismissive, but to put it into a bucket to grasp the concept of it, it is much like a Souls-like game as far as kind of dark, brooding, difficult combo. You know,
one-on-one kind of fighting, right? Like you can only take one enemy at a time. If there's more than that, like you're done. So,
but looks pretty cool.
it looks neat. It kind of looks like we're going more towards the current generation of gaming, and I know we're trying to get out of the last gen where things kind of look a little. They're not dated, but you can definitely tell where there's limitations.
I got you. Okay, so everybody have a drink. Everybody take a deep breath.
Little bathroom break, or this is.
Or if you're listening to us, you can just go to the washroom and keep your earbuds in.
No,
it's
you keep us going. Like that's.
It's the best
here
time
with
to listen to us. You're
That's
alone.
right. There you go.
Because we're gonna now. That was Summer Games Fest,
Right.
and now we're gonna transition into Xbox Game Showcase 2024.
Yeah.
So we're moving along to the second gaming event
Lots of
that we're
games.
trying to cover. So I brought this up,
Right.
and from you are looking at this. Give it a quick scan. For the audience, I am showing from Microsoft Official, I am showing Jeff the image that contains all the cards of everything that was announced.
Yes.
As far as here's all the games we announced during a game showcase. What stands out to you, Jeff?
So to me, I'm interested in the Doom one
Wonderful.
and Expedition 33 because I know I've seen some clips of that, so I'm kind of like that's what I'm on, and I think those are the big two. So, but what about you? Like what here in all these cards you're immediately like that one?
So I'll say that I have missed it the first time. Like I don't know if I was just like distracted, but the thing that I see is like Fable, because like Fable is one of my absolute favorite games, and then for some reason I have no basis for this. There's something at the bottom here called like Frag Punk.
Oh,
It just drags me. I have no idea what it's about.
Yeah?
I might hate it, but just if I'm honest, as far as like looking at all these things, it's like, hey, Frag Punk, what's that about? I will say, like, I now the thing is, like, I know Avowed,
yes.
and I'm interested in Avowed. Like that one could be cool, but that's enough of that. I'm just kind of curious, like Jeff's like initial reaction. Let's get into it here. So, Age of Mythology.
Oh my god, thank you. Like this is the game. I played this all the time as a kid. Like
I wasn't sure where you were on this one.
Oh no, I played this again, Age of Empires, Age of Mythology. That was my RTS jam back in the day, so I'm glad they're redoing it or remaking it or however they're doing it. Love to see it. Yes.
So, I wonder how can you get a hold of it?
I'm just going to buy it, Trevor. I don't know.
Well, but it's Xbox. I don't know if it's like
It'll be PC too, but
so that's the thing. So, I mean, like, man, if they release an RTS that's not on PC, that'd be silly.
that'd be crazy.
Okay, so but you can run Xbox. What I'm wondering is if it's on Xbox Marketplace, like official on PC, and you'd have to download that onto your Steam Deck.
Yes, I do have a shortcut for Game Pass on my Steam Deck for when and if I do get Game Pass, which I might if there's a bunch of games on there, right? So
hey. Xbox is listening. So Avowed, which apparently in this showcase they released, if anybody like me has been kind of following it, they released a new, more in-depth look at the story.
Right.
So, this year, brace yourself for an expedition to the uncharted wilds of the living lands and Obsidian Entertainment's Avowed, a brand new story trailer. We learn more about the incredible journey we'll be taking later this year and meet Giada, one of the game's 4 companions. So But what would this game? What would you call this game like? I'm trying to think, like, to try to like frame it.
So Obsidian is very Pillars of Eternity, right? Like they did that stuff. But first person, I immediately think it's like some sort of Skyrim Outer Wilds type of game. Yeah. So I think that's what they're kind of going for in this as well. But they did confirm a third person. So it could be very much like a Witcher fantasy game.
Yeah, this looks super Skyrim-y in a good way. Super colorful though, which is kind of nice.
It is. I like the injection of color. I'm always glad to see some colors over the browns.
Yeah, so a tiny game.
Little game.
Kind of looks like a little indie title.
Yep.
Call of Duty. I think it might be. Is that like janitorial services or
Could be. I mean,
teaching sim maybe?
Teaching sim, yes. Yeah, they're on their 6th version of that.
Yeah, so Call of Duty Black Ops 6, direct reveals, campaign, multiplayer, and zombie details. If you know, you know. You guys already, for gaming dads who love this type of thing, they're already ready to buy it. So
yeah,
cool to see them continuing it. The only thing to watch for in any of these Call of Duty games going forward will be the cross-platform release, given that now Microsoft owns the studio.
Yeah.
And we'll see if they continue to release it on to PlayStation will be the big thing. But
they will for this one, right? But it's
for sure. But going forward,
yeah,
I would contend they're going to forever. Why would you turn off that spigot of money?
Yeah.
So
yeah, this is a test. So
all right.
We'll see.
Now, the one that captured you the most. Why don't you go ahead and cue this one up?
Doom is crazy. Doom does a whole bunch of the crazy things. I haven't even completed the second one, but I just had a great time in it. And this one is
Doom,
like...
So the announcement was Doom the Dark Ages.
Which, again, like the title says, it's Doom in the medieval ages with, like, a serrated shield that acts like a chainsaw. And, like, shotguns and swords and all sorts of stuff. Like, dragons are in this thing. Like, yeah, this is great. Go nuts. It gives me joy to see them just do something experimental and crazy. And it gives me almost Unreal Tournament vibes. Or Unreal vibes, which, you know, is lost to the ether. So I'm glad that they kind of picked that up and run with this thing. And I'm fully in. Again, if you want to turn off your brain and just go like random shooting in a game and not really think about too much, this is the game. It looks like just more fun.
Jeez, man! Like if you look at the trailer, he looks so badass. So yeah. It's exactly as we say medieval Doom.
Yeah.
It is exactly what you think it looks like. But he's got this massive fur cape flowing down the back.
Yeah. And he throws the shield like Captain America. Like it's crazy.
This has got to be this type of thing gives me such hope for the future of gaming, in that we've gotten back into a point where people are just having fun with it again. Because it's like, hey, you know Doom guy? Yeah, sure, I like Doom. What if he went back in time and like fought like centaurs and like horses and stuff in a castle? Yeah, give him a sword. It's just, and people are just going nuts and they're having a great time. Yeah. So take the formula, take the characters, like take what you already know, and just go hog wild. Like there's no limits. These consoles have no limits, people. Like go for it.
Yeah. I think we're done. Well, maybe not all of them, but a bunch of games had to like prove themselves. Like, oh, look at all the graphics we can do and all these mechanics. And I think now it's just like, okay, well, we got all that down. Now what? And creative seems to be like, yeah, no, let's just have fun with some of this.
Yeah, like next one to be like Doom in space. It's like, yeah, whatever,
I'm for
it.
I hope it goes to space. Absolutely. Mix in some Quake.
But I mean like
Quake.
Space sci-fi adventure, not so much like because Doom is kind of already floating in Mars, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Yes, absolutely. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right, so Doom gets announced there. Okay, Fable. This is a thing now. All right, so
this is a thing. Is that what you said? Like, all right, hold on.
I just have feelings about this. I did not know that there was a new Fable until our preamble before we went live,
which is fantastic. It was like Christmas morning for you.
I was like, Jeff can describe my excitement. I couldn't believe it. I was like, are you kidding me, Fable? I'm like so jacked. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Then I watched the trailer. It's like the entire thing say what you will about the creator of it. Was it Molyneux? Peter Molyneux?
Yeah.
Eccentric, kind of like a silly man. But the Fable series had so much character and heart and humor and silliness. Like, it's a literal fart button, Jeff. Jeff, there's a fart button in like the original one, and it had an effect on the NPCs. Like you could hold their hand. Like, it just, everything about the Fable series was well done mechanics, wide variety, humor, wit, and like a great story.
Right.
And in this like live, bustling, beautiful world.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing in the trailer, you could have told me this is, unless I saw the name Fable, I would not have any damn clue that's what this is about. Fable the original, Fable 2, Fable 3. You could just watch any of the trailers. It's like, oh, that's a Fable game. Albion, let's go.
Yeah.
This could be a Skyrim mod. This could be the next Oblivion. This could be any of the other ones that we watched. Deliverance,
Yeah.
like hell, this is like close to like Deliverance too.
I want to like backtrack just a little bit and just explain to our listeners the amount of like the reaction you had, where it was like Christmas morning, your eyes were lighting up, and then all of a sudden you saw the trailer and it was like the lights went out. Like, no, Christmas is over. We're going to grandma's house. Get in the van. Like, it was absolutely just like sucked out of you. You're like, what is this? It's too dark. There's no like
Where's the life?
joy
Where's the
and
fun?
light heart.
Joy.
Like,
The joy.
yeah.
Where's the joy?
Yeah, so I hear you. I've never played Fable. The way you talked about it was like, oh, maybe I should pick up the originals. But yeah, viewing this one, it seems very dark and brooding, like almost like a Witcher or Skyrim kind of.
Yeah, it's like we have this game. Look, I'm not gonna know until I play it, and this isn't even a game trailer by any means.
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps in the trailer, like, it'll open up a bit and kind of reveal the joy and the happiness that like Fable's kind of known for.
Could be.
But this trailer, man, this is such a bummer. I'll say that there's been some interaction. It seems like there's been a little bit of like, okay, hold on, no. What just happened in the trailer is the two characters, they're in a dark forest.
Right.
They're in a dark, brooding forest.
Yes.
And the two of them are like walking up, and the one character goes for a sword, but the other one stops him. Like, no, wait a moment. And then a dark stranger comes up above. I didn't need to hear the music. I know exactly what the music was. Coming to that. And then as he puts down his hand, smoke starts to rise from it. Scene. That has nothing to do with Fable.
So
it is just you could call it anything else. And you could remove the word Fable, and I'd not be able to tell you that it's that from that series. I'm so upset. This sucks.
I mean, I think we should have stopped at the 30-minute mark, because we got into like, oh no, Trevor is gonna like, this is it for gaming. Like, this did it for him. He's not going back. But like the scene you were describing, I'm like, oh, maybe there's like an inside joke, and that, buh sound was the fart button you were talking about, and the smoke was just funny. But no, I guess not. Well, maybe there's hope somewhere.
I don't know. Like I said, it might as well just be the next Skyrim. Like, it's fine. I'll have to reserve judgment to see where they go with it. But by this trailer, it's not so much how it looks. It's about how it feels, and it feels. So that's just really sad. All right. Hope I'm wrong. Hope I'm very wrong. Hold on, hope, folks. They have till 2025. New Gears of War.
Yeah.
New Gears of War coming out. That's cool. So E-Day, Gears of War E-Day. I've heard them say that they're going back to what they were calling their horror roots. So I suppose it's a bit grittier in the first ones. Do you have any insights in that?
I didn't play much Gears of War, but I obviously followed it just from my gaming days of a teenager. And seeing this trailer, it's very, very dark, very horror-esque. They've got the old Mad World playing in it. So it's like they very much know, I think, the period of time where some players had said they kind of drifted a little bit away from what they were trying to do, and now they're going back to that. So it does look very intense and very heavy, and like the friendship is rekindled, and again, characters that I don't personally recognize but I know of them. Looks like they're bringing some favorites back and the relationships that they had, right? So it looks cool. I mean, I don't know if you played Gears, but
Played a few of the titles. It's always great. It was always kind of cool, the heaviness of the characters. As then you're walking
the
around,
weight
like
of
every
it,
step
yeah.
like shakes the screen. So no, it's good. Again, it's one of those like series that people seem to really enjoy. It's got a whole lore to it within it. So kind of cool to see them bring them back.
Yeah.
So cool. Good on them. Indiana Jones. So Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Where do you land on this one?
the title is horrible. I mean,
Let's first focus on the words.
I mean, come on. I don't know what the Great Circle. Anyway, yeah, it looks interesting. Again, I was a fan of Uncharted, and this is very much, that was ripping off. Like they fully said it's Indiana Jones, right? So for Indiana Jones to do Indiana Jones like Uncharted, it's kind of like what we talked about that other studio that went from movies to games based off a game. It looks interesting that way. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to play out because, some of the sequences look very almost like timed things to do. So Indiana Jones is very much action and puzzle. So let's see how they merge those together. But it looks interesting. I'm for it. See what happens with it. Maybe it's a whole series gearing up. Maybe it's a one-off. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd kind of like them to do the Uncharted route.
Yeah,
in that
I think so.
it is in a sense I don't want it to be open world. I don't want there to be DLC. Like it's just
No.
this nice, tight, well done package.
I agree.
You get in, it's fun, you play it, and you're like, thank you, and then like you move on.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. More of those games would be great, right? Because there's a lot of open world out there.
Yeah. So, but from the trailers, it kind of looks what it's kind of going towards. So.
Yeah.
Happy to see it. Looks like they're doing it right. So all new Flight Simulator 2024. Awesome. Good.
Neat.
Like
Yeah.
people like it. I like diversity.
There you go.
Never got into it myself, but people love it. So wonderful. Glad to see it. Perfect Dark.
This one was an interesting one. It was announced a
Okay.
long time ago,
Mm-hmm.
and then they kind of came out with this thing, and it looks very much Deus Ex like. So like you're first person, you're scanning things. I remember Perfect Dark again. That was N64. So to visualize it in a modern console, very different take than what I pictured in my mind, but it makes sense. I think it does allude to like a game that has those same mechanics, but again, upgraded, modernized, and very Deus Ex like in what I've seen. I don't know if you can complete scenarios in different ways like Deus Ex, but it just looks like one of those kind of tools that you're going around. You have to like get the clues. You have to approach situations differently. There's
Yeah,
some
it's kind of interesting.
parkour we're seeing,
Yeah, I don't seem to recall it being too clever or smart.
No.
I seem to recall it being like a big like boomer shooter and zip around, but they seem to be presenting it much more as used like Deus Ex as a perfect pull. Like that's like multiple ways, like a bunch of tech, like different like branching trees.
Yeah.
So cool.
We'll see where it goes. I don't know. This trailer seems very like, we made this, but it's not really a game yet. So we'll see. I don't know.
All right, interesting way for them to go. South of Midnight.
It's a cool vibe to this one. It's kind of like a stop animation kind of effect to the visuals, and it's got some kind of New Orleans music and theme to it. So it's a cool take. I like to see the diversity in this game on what it's like. Yeah.
Oh, this art style is gorgeous. Yeah, everybody
right.
take a look at this. South of Midnight. This is the first time before Jeff. I'd seen the image. I didn't know that it was sort of stop motion.
Yeah,
but
I think the image gives off a very.
This
different
looks
vibe.
more Fable.
Okay,
than Fable does. Okay.
I was going to ask that, but I wasn't sure because again, I hadn't played the originals. I'm like, this seems like what you were describing as like this.
But
I
because
don't
it's
know.
bright and it's colorful, it's full of life and like the action and like even in her voicing, like she was talking to the big fish.
Right.
Like there's this emotiveness to them, right? It's just like two friends actually speaking as opposed to people dialoguing. Like, if we don't take care of the Huns, who will take care of this? And instead it's just like, I don't know, fish don't eat any more peppers. They go off and it's this great big fun game.
Okay, well maybe this is the one you play. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe this is my actual fable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. I'll say that as far as this list goes, initially, I would have looked at this and thought like, okay, just a normal kind of like action game. But instead, in seeing the art style and sort of the energy that's being presented in the gameplay part of it, I'm actually pretty intrigued about this one. That looks cool.
Yeah.
South of Midnight, aka the True Fable, coming 2025. Open world zombie game, State of Decay 3.
Yeah, they didn't really show much more to it. I think people wanted more out of this, but it's what it is.
That's continuing.
Yeah.
So Assassin's Creed Shadows, the first gameplay came out. So this is, if I understand it right, Assassin's Creed set in, is it feudal Japan?
Yeah, so the 1500s, I think, in Japan, samurai, you're run around. I'm all for historical type games that I know Assassin's Creed kind of jumps around to different locations, but I was really pulled with the Egyptian one and Valhalla. They're neat to get into, but I'd never complete them because obviously there's just too much in there. But I really liked Egypt, and I liked the setting of Valhalla, and to see this one in like that Japan era would be neat to kind of go around. I love Ghost of Tsushima, so anything that kind of gives me that, great. I will never complete it, but I don't think you need to. I think you just need to experience it, right? So.
Yeah, get in, jump around, enjoy the world, and like it looks beautiful, and it is awesome. So like they started in the Middle East, they went to Egypt, they did one in America.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Sorry, I said Middle East and Egypt in the same breath, but sorry. As more like when I said Middle East, I meant more like Arabic Nights type of setting, and then it went to Egypt, and then it went into England. I think there's one set in England. There's been one in America.
Yeah.
The Vikings, of course.
Vikings. They had Rome. They had Baghdad. They had a whole bunch. Well, again, Black Flag, right, which was like Jamaica kind of
the greatest pirate game that's ever existed.
Right. So.
So that's excellent. So it's great to see them go into feudal Japan. It looks like a blast. So Atomfall, I don't have a darn thing. Do you got anything on this?
No idea. No idea what this is. I thought it was a Doctor Who thing with a phone booth, but it looks very almost like BioShock. Maybe not.
BioShock or Fallout, almost a little bit like We Happy Few. If you remember that title.
Yeah.
So I will say a lot of these games are trending a lot more colorful, which is kind of nice to see. Like
I do like that, yeah.
It seems like we're kind of growing past our drab gray phase.
I hope
so. This kind of looks like a more colorful, vibrant Fallout, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that works.
Which, if you think Atomfall, kind of like it's a bit on the nose in that way.
That is true. Wonder if they're like, shh, Trevor, stop! Don't say that.
Don't say less, please. Okay, so Expedition 33, and this is what I found fascinating in speaking with you, because there'd be these titles that it's like, what on earth is this? You're like, I have never been more excited for something in my entire life, including the birth of my children. I'm like, whoa, Jeff, that's a bold call. Just please,
that's
explain
exactly
more.
what I said, word for word. Yes.
So walk us through this. So something called Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Yeah, so this one, again, I didn't think anything of it. I thought this was like almost Order 1886 or whatever that one was on PlayStation. It was kind of like, is it this cyberpunky kind of industrial era type game? But then they started showing more of it. I'm like, no, it's okay. It's fantasy setting. Okay, I'm in. Let's see where it goes. And then the battle system is turn-based. And I was like, okay, sign me up. This is great. More turn-based RPGs, please. I love them. This one again gives you that vibe of like it could be Final Fantasy 17, but it's not. But it looks like it has that kind of tiered visual. Like it's just very like, again, I don't know how to really describe it, but the graphics look great.
Yeah, so you would look at the trailer, and again, this is one Gaming Dads. Again, I heard Jeff's excitement, I wasn't really sure what to make of it, and it just kind of seemed like a title. Upon reviewing it, you'd be forgiven to think it's a kind of like a Witcher 3, a beautiful, like fleshed out world, and you're kind of running around and doing things, but where you would expect action, battles, fighting, instead turn-based battles
Yeah.
instead. Like, so just full old school RPG in a sense, but think Legend of Dragoon.
Yes.
So
Yes.
timed. So all the battles have, which by the way, in the I don't know, even I've barely seen a trailer, but I'm not sure I've seen a better integrated UI in an RPG battle system.
Yes. So that's what gave me, like, if you've ever played the Persona games, their UI is very like artistic, right? It goes in with the vibe of this game. This one I can see when you're in the battle system, it kind of wheels out into the world of these are the actions you need to take, and it's very much a part of the whole scene, which looks fantastic. And I hope they keep all these elements. Again, sometimes things change from the trailer, but I'm locked in. I had no idea this thing was coming, and the name is different enough. But like, there is a whole mystery of like, I don't know entirely the trailer, and people can correct me if I'm wrong, but there's this mythical painter that every so often she comes up and then paints death, and then people start dying in the world, and you have to go, you're the 33rd expedition to go find her and stop her from painting death and whatever the world. Anyway, it's very kind of an interesting, whimsical, what is going on kind of, it is typical save the world, but in its weird way, in this weird Final Fantasy way that I'm getting out of it, and that's what I'm thinking I'm drawing on.
It is a wild mix of things. So it's almost like you take a bit of Witcher, you take a bit of Kojima.
Yeah. Yes.
Like some of the monsters and some of the interaction, just some even the themes, it's like there's death and the death paints, except you have to stop the paint. That's a very Kojima type of idea, right?
Yeah, that is.
But then mixed in with like Legend of Dragoon and like Final Fantasy and those type of things. I'll get for the benefit. I'll read this one in its fullest, because this is probably the one that's taken us in some ways by the most surprise.
Yeah.
Of all the ones we've seen. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is an upcoming reactive turn-based RPG that will transport you to a beautiful, surrealist new world inspired by France's La Belle Epoque, a period famous for its stunning and lavish contributions to the country's world-renowned culture of art. As a member of the Expeditioners, who are embarking on an impossible quest to end the Paintress's cycle of death, you'll journey through a vast and beautiful fantasy world where you'll battle deadly adversaries, befriend fabled creatures, and discover traces of those who came before. And then you can wishlist the game on Xbox and elsewhere, I suppose. But that's, count me intrigued. That is wild looking.
Right? It's just one of those things that, again, unexpected, and I wouldn't have pulled that from the name itself. So I'm glad that I viewed the trailer and read up on it, and that you're introduced, and I got you in on it now. So you're with me. We're going to play this game.
It's happening.
That's right.
So we got Dragon's Age, the Veilguard. Cool. New Dragon Age game. Those are always really well. Had you ever played any? I've never actually played a Dragon Age game.
Inquisition. I played Dragon Age Inquisition. Never finished it. There's so many hours in there. Like, I think I had 70 hours and I dropped it because it was just so long. But yeah, they're very well made. There's a lot to them, and I'm sure that this one is no different. There's just going to be a lot to this world. So
Man, there's just an aesthetic that is taking over. So it's like this vibrant, exuberant, colorful, like these palettes are kind of crazy, but then it's all these mixes of, you have high fantasy dungeons and things like that, but then colors thrown throughout, but then the menus and the titles are these like rich, vibrant, almost neon type of colors on top of it. And it's something that we've seen kind of throughout. I'm here for it, if I'm honest. I kind of like this new punch of color.
yeah, I mean, I mix it up, right? Like, let's mix it up, Trevor. Like, let's go.
Okay, then we have Flintlock, which they are in the title calling Souls-like. Or Souls Light, interestingly.
Yeah.
So looks like it's a bit more action oriented, but again, like fairly colorful. It almost looks like it's set in a Fable style world, if I'm honest. But there's like some magic and just okay, all right. I said it. I thought I could get past the sentence, and I can't. This looks more Fable.
Oh my god, this is gonna be every game. I love it. I'm here for it. This is great.
It's gonna be my whole year. I have like two titles that look so much more the Fable than the Fable tale itself. Oh man, I hope I'm so wrong.
I kind of want to see where it goes and just be like, yep, no, I was right. Those those two games were more Fable-like. So
Yeah, but this one again actually looks kind of fun. Like it's big, flamboyant, like bombastic when you're kind of running through. It'll have some difficulty, but it's called the Souls Light.
interesting.
So I think there's something about making it a bit more accessible. Okay, I think this is the last. Oh, it's not the last one. Oh my lord.
Well,
Jeff, we have never done a podcast
no,
this long in our lives.
I don't think
It's gonna
we.
suck if this episode gets like an extra like a 200% boost in listenership. And it's like, well, that's what the people wanted. They want like hour-long podcasts.
You gotta
Apparently,
sign off for 90 minutes of running through games that we can't play, and just seeing your review of like this one's more Fable-like.
Yeah, this is more Fable than Fable. Unbelievable. Okay, so this is Fragpunk. Did you have any insights into Fragpunk?
No, absolutely not. No.
Okay, this is as far as the title went. I was curious. This is. I would swear to you, all these are almost coming from the same. The way that they have all hit a theme visually is kind of striking. The last like 4 or so titles have been somewhat serious topics in the sense that like sword battling, world coming undone, battles, like whatever, but then intermixed with like neon and flashing and flamboyant type of lettering and card type transitions.
Yeah.
So that's what we're seeing with Fragpunk, which.
I mean,
so it seems to be.
It's a card battler, is it? No.
So it looks like it's a. Okay, let's just read the.
They augment. It looks like the cards augment your character.
Yeah. So it's a competitive first-person shooter. So it looks like it's team versus team. Fragpunk is a frantic squad-based 5v5 hero shooter where you set up the rules of engagement for every new round by activating power-up cards. With its debut on Xbox Game Showcase, Fragpunk rocks the hero shooter genre with fast-paced combat and a plethora of synergies. Okay, so it's a squad-based 5v5 hero shooter, except you smash cards and get a bunch of power-ups.
I am hesitant on something like that because that just sounds like buy these decks to make you better, but maybe it's not. Maybe they've balanced all that out.
You could see, like, and it looks like they're having fun with it. So one of the cards or augments you can do is you snap it and you get to spawn grass, which you can hide behind. Another was big head mode, so your headshots are like super
okay,
easy.
that's fun. Yeah, all right. I think it was better than.
Yeah,
I was thinking just powers. Like, here's a better weapon.
Yeah, so it's like, so some of it's like, okay, this is like chain reaction, like have everybody here get electrocuted, but some of the other stuff's a bit more fun.
It sounds very like almost a first-person shooter with Mario Kart like tactics. Like, here's a blue shell.
Go get them.
Yeah.
Life is Strange, Double Exposure, so a new Life is Strange title.
Great game. I think it's free all month as well. Like, not that one, but the first game.
Wonderful. That's awesome. Mecha Break. Did we?
I think we talked about that one. It was the
no,
flying one.
It is. Okay, thank goodness. I thought it was just a different one, and it's like, oh no. Okay, Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater.
This looks like my memory of Snake Eater, but it's obviously not. And I think I thanked somebody on our Twitter channel on making comparisons because I'm like, this looks the same, but it obviously is not from the PS2 era. Neat. I don't know how it's going to play out without Kojima in there, but they are just copying what was done. So
yeah, but it's just like a remake, right? It's not like this is the same story as.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
they might change some things, but I don't know. How can you make it crazier? Maybe they make it less crazy. I don't know.
I imagine a la Final Fantasy in some ways it'll be the same beats. No, you know what? I don't think they can take that much license because without Kojima, it's just not going to work.
Well, and just quickly, like the original game, they had one of the bosses called The End. I think that's what his name was, or Time. And he was an old guy, and he was a sniper in the grass. And if you fast forward your clock, your PS2 clock, he would die, and you would complete it. So I'm wondering if they still have that exploit in this. But that's how crazy it was. That's how crazy it was. And I'm hoping they keep that stuff.
That's the greatest. So basically, if you like Metal Gear, it's a coming. And it's on Xbox, which is kind of wild.
It is
Imagine.
wild, yeah.
This day and age.
This day and Dragon Age.
Oh, there you go. Next called Mixtape. Do you have any views on this? I've not seen this. I'm going entirely blind.
I have not seen this, but the name of it reminds me of the studio they just closed.
Oh,
Right? Like just saying like that was a
Yeah.
musical one. What was the name of it? God, I couldn't remember.
Hi-Fi Rush.
Yes. So very much that kind of
Yeah.
vibe to it. This is a different studio, so it's not owned by Microsoft, that it will
So
survive.
so it's an art. The art style is interesting. So it's kind of like paper craft. So it almost looks like people are crafting 3D models out of paper, and then that's what's kind of animating for everything.
Yeah.
Looks like kind of a adventure story type of thing. I think almost a la. Ooh, looks very story driven. In fact, there's kind of like some dreamlike elements, and
Say it.
What-
Say it. It does look more Fable than Fable.
this one does not.
Okay. All
thankfully.
right. Sorry.
Thankfully, this one does not.
Okay.
This looks a la Life is Strange, basically,
Okay.
where it's sort of like
Yes.
very narrative focus. Looks pretty cool. So that's always good to see. I like to see those type of smaller
Yeah.
experiences come through. Stalker 2, Heart of
I-
Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Great.
Didn't really play the first one, but yeah, I know
Yeah,
people
me
enjoy
either.
it. Looking forward to it.
Okay, Winter Burrow.
This looks
a-
kind of cozy. It even says in the title, cozy. But it's it almost, I don't know if it is an indie, but it has that vibe where it's just this cute little kind of survival game.
Yeah, except it's all very cartoonish. Looks like very much like Winnie the Pooh styling.
Yeah, is it a mouse? I can't.
It's a mouse, yeah.
It's a mouse. Okay.
But it looks like the 100 Acre Woods from Winnie the Pooh, and it kind of looks like a Don't Starve or. However, I imagine that's like backed off a bit, because if they call it cozy, I
Oh
like to
yeah.
think it's not going to be that same type of harshness to it.
And it does look like Don't Starve. Even when they were walking in the cold and it was getting more frozen, I'm like, oh no,
Please don't die, mouse.
don't stress me out.
Yeah, but there's some crafting elements. Like, yeah, it just looks like a really nice take on the survival type of genre, if that is your bag. It really feels like Don't Starve now that the more that I look at it. It's
I
like
think
more,
you
more
hit the nail
cutesy
on the head.
version.
Yeah, Don't Starve.
Okay. Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers.
So this
A Journey
one-
into the Darkness of the Late Ming Dynasty.
So there's Wu Chang and Wu Kong. I think Wu Kong is the one that looks like almost like a Souls-like, and this one is not that, but it's similar in name. And I got immediately confused. I'm like, whoa, this game changed, but it's
What?
not.
Okay.
And they're releasing at the same time, so it's like,
Oh.
they're gonna have one of those like, Grandma, you got me the wrong.
You got me the wrong woo.
You got
Come
me the wrong
on.
woo. But yeah, another hack and slash, I think. So
Well, more than that, it's a Souls, like, basically.
yeah, I know. I'm
I
dismissing
hate,
it.
again,
Ah,
that's not to be
me.
dismissive
That
of it.
I'm
It's just,
sorry. I took what you said at the beginning. I'm like, I'll be more like Trevor on this one. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
to understand what it is, if you played a Souls game, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Set in the Ming Dynasty. Looks kind of cool. And otherwise, okay, we might have done it. Jeff, we might have done
I
it.
think that we completed.
The rest is just updates for live games. Diablo 4 tearing it up. People seem to be super happy with their recent changes. Elder Scrolls Online is still a thing. 10 years. Wow.
That's crazy to me. I didn't even think it was a decade old, but here we are.
Jeez, older than my kids. Fallout 76 is still an ongoing concern.
Yeah,
Great.
especially with the TV show, everyone's jumping in there. So
Oh, man, I would love to see that chart. That's fascinating.
yeah, it got a big uptake in players because there's no other Fallout, right? And there's not going to be one for a while. So
Well,
this is
hey.
where you go.
Yeah, we have the new secret. You want a good game, you build the show first.
That's right. That's right.
Sea of Thieves, also still continuing. That's wonderful.
I want to
that's
get
one of
into
those, like-
that one.
What's that?
I wanted to get into that one, because now it's on PlayStation, right? They put it out to all the systems. So
So had you played it like that? Have you? I've not
no,
touched it.
but I'm like, again, Black Flag, and like the water in it looks beautiful, and just owning a pirate ship and going around sounds kind of fun. But again, the online component holds me back a little bit. So I don't
Gotcha.
know.
I'd be- Yeah, me too. Like it's one of those ones that, like, with more time, this would be something kind of fun to like dip into. And what was encouraging to see with this is it got panned, and people seem to really hate it, except those who played often were just having a lot of fun. It's like, yeah, I like it. I have fun. I have my pirate ship. Whee!
Yeah.
And it's that meme where people are like, the one guy's yelling at them all the reasons they shouldn't like it,
Right.
but the 4 people are just playing it. It's like, stop having fun.
yeah.
because I don't like it.
Again,
So-
if we had more time and we had the coordination, we could make like a little dad ship, like a new dad gaming ship, and we go around and we just like get immediately taken over by somebody else. So like, it would be
Well, it was fun, everybody.
yeah.
Starfield Shattered Space. This one had interest me in the sense that like I never did beat Starfield.
Right. Well, now you
Enjoyed,
can not beat it with DLC.
Yeah, now I can continue to not do it. But it seemed like beyond the actual DLC part of it, it seemed like there was also just some quality of life stuff. So I was kind of curious to dip in to see if I might be able to pull myself through. World of Warcraft is still going. There's a new release for that.
It's crazy.
Oh, geez, I didn't even know there was more consoles. Okay.
More consoles and a digital-only console, FYI.
Like a digital Xbox Series X?
Yep. No
Very
disc.
Cool.
So
Okay. The
they
death of hardware continues to be thrust upon us.
I think you're going to expect it because they did allude to a portable system. So if they do a digital environment, that's a lot easier in a portable environment, right? So
Who needs your Steam Deck? I got my Xbox deck.
I got
darn
my Xbox. What would you call it? What's the next letter? P? Like they couldn't do a PSP version, right?
Okay, so the X or the S or Y? XY.
They would
The
do P
Xbox
for
Y.
portable, right? Unless it's M for mobile, but that's stupid.
I could see being like, yeah, P would make the most like Xbox P.
That's stupid.
It's kind of dumb.
name. Series P? Are you kidding me?
M?
That's
Could you say mobile? Like Xbox M for mobile?
Mobox.
Mobox.
This is what happens when we stream for like 90 minutes and when we get into like silly mode, like whatever.
But this is what the best ideas come because like
That is true.
We have dug deep. We've gone beyond surface level nonsense,
Phil
and now we're into our
Spencer is
true
listening.
selves.
That's right. That this is the real dads talking.
Oh.
Real dad gaming.
Gaming dad. Okay, I'm trying. I almost want to give a reward for any gaming dad who got to this part of the episode
And
I
can
don't-
summarize it.
For any gaming dad that listened to this entire damn thing, I'll say this: but beyond, if you got this far, here's your challenge. Write into us from our website at newdadgaming, or sorry, newdadgaming.com, or on our social. Write to us a message or like a tweet, at newdadgaming, and say like, hey, I listened to the entire thing, and then put a sentence, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Put a sentence of what any benign nonsense you would like, or it could be a shout out, it could be anything you like. And Jeff and I will read it on air.
Okay.
That's how we'll start the show. Now, we're not going to swear. We're not to degrade people. There's obviously within reason of good fathers that we all are. But beyond that, any hot nonsense you wants to say, we'll say it. If you get this far into an hour and a half episode, 3 times what we usually do, you can write in at newdadgaming on social, newdadgaming.com, and we'll say whatever you like. So little treat for anybody who actually came this far along with us.
You heard it here.
Everybody, thanks so much for that. That was just good for me because I had not seen so many of those games.
Now you're on the up and up.
Yeah, how are you feeling after that monster session?
There's a lot of backlog games that I'm interested in that are not even there yet, right? These are all coming soon, and I'm like, I don't have space for these. So, but I think we made each other's wish list, and I'm really looking forward to the Fable thing. So.
Fable. Yeah. This is more Fable than Fable. That's going to be the theme all through next year as we play these one by one.
That's right.
But I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm so wrong. Now, one more time, everybody, thank you for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. If you like the show, it really would help as you hop over to any of the podcasting networks, Google, Spotify, iTunes, Caster, anywhere where you get your podcast. Search for New Dad Gaming and subscribe. Doing so really helps out the channel, even more so if you leave a rating and a comment. Really helps to boost the channel, helps the new dads here greatly. If you'd like to get a hold of us, again, give us a message for the call it we'll give next show, or just a story, a game. What games are you looking forward to? Was there something that we missed that you'd like to discuss? We adore hearing from you guys. It's one of the best parts of doing this podcast. So reach out to us at New Dad Gaming on social or newdadgaming.com. Once again, folks, thanks for listening. Until next week, my name is Trevor, and I have a 9-year-old, a 6-year-old, and 1,000 games to be looking forward to.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 13-year-old, an 11-year-old, and it's way past my bedtime.
It's so late. Gotta go to bed.
That's
All
right.
right. Everyone, remember, just because you became a dad
Does not mean it's game over.